Brothers, I just want to say that I am doing this video at gunpoint. My audience has forced me to do this. Yes, it was my fault to run a poll in my stream chat, but they have demanded that I do a reaction and a review of Angry Joe's review of the Odyssey 2026. Now, I don't look forward to this because Angry Joe is probably one of the most insufferable content creators in the movie and film space. This guy is an idiot, but he's so arrogant he thinks that he's intelligent, and that manifests in a lot of really annoying ways. So, let me just break it down for you. This movie, The Odyssey 2026, was one of the worst movies that I've seen this year. It was an embarrassment. And in fact, it may be one of the worst movies that I've seen in the past 10 years. That includes Supergirl, Captain Marvel. This is one of the worst. Because the opportunity here, the potential of this movie is greater than all of those movies combined. Because The Odyssey has a built-in interest and fan base from people that have read the book for years. I'm like, in school, you have to read The Odyssey, but usually people go back and they read it because it's just such an epic tale. It's got heroism. It's got, The Odyssey's got Cyclops, gods. It's got turmoil, family chaos. And it is such an unbelievable story. I don't mean that that it's just like, I'm talking about like a work of, reality. No, it's a mythology story based in a certain period of time. And it's got believable elements because of that. And that's why people love it so much, because it does a lot of things right. But when you get a smug, arrogant actor or series of actors and a director that clearly doesn't understand the material, because Christopher Nolan admitted that he's never actually read The Odyssey, and nobody on set had really read The Odyssey, except for apparently John Leguizamo. John Leguizamo, he is the only one that actually read The Odyssey. But the adaptation they chose to work from was a feminist interpretation from 2015. That was the foundation upon which they were going to build their entire architecture. And it fumbled. It fell apart. When you build your palace on shit, it's going to sink into the shit. So, without further ado, brothers, we are going to get in and watch this reaction and review from Angry Joe.
Hey guys, we just got back from Chris Nolan's epic fantasy action film, The Odyssey, written and directed by Christopher Nolan, and obviously an adaptation of Homer's ancient Greek epic. And
it's not an adaptation of his Greek epic. It's an adaptation of a feminist version of the story. Does Joe not realize this? I'm sure he does.
And there's much to be said about the film online before this thing even came out. I mean, we can address some of that in the spoiler section. But let's focus on what we thought of the content of the film. Mm-hmm. Holy shit.
It's that bad.
This is a damn good movie. Now,
oh, boy. All right. We're off to a bad start. I mean, listen, I'm just going to say this. If you think this is a good movie, I immediately think less of you. I do. If you say to me, The Odyssey is a good movie, with all of its faults, flaws, missteps, mistakes, blunders, not just marketing, but in the movie itself, I immediately think less of you.
Now that is what an epic should be like. This is epic in every sense of the word. Man, great performances, great.
What performance was great? What performance did you think was great? And by the way, Joe, have you seen any of the other adaptations? Have you seen any of the other versions? Because I can tell you, the scene at the end with Odysseus and the suitors, that scene with Matt Damon, it had no aura at all compared to the 1997 film, The Odyssey 1997 versus the one today. In 1997, that moment had such impact, and aura, and you feel it 20 years later. It was that impactful. But the scene in the movie was so bad. I don't know how you can say this was good. Unless you're talking like nebulous. I want Christopher Nolan to like me, and so I'm going to say that it was good. There was nothing about this that was done better than other iterations that have been done before. Okay?
Great vision. Now, they're not all bangers. There's a few.
Oh, okay. All right. At least we're pulling back here. We went maximum glaze. How fast do you want to go with the glaze? Ludicrous glaze. Okay, that's too fast. Let's pull it back.
Actors that I felt like, maybe not the right person for the
like,
role.
At least Joe will acknowledge that much. You know what? Maybe this review won't be so bad. If Joe was like, "Oh, this is the greatest movie. It was great," but I mean, some of the roles are not great, and some of the performances are not good. Maybe Joe's going to be fair. Maybe I was too harsh on Joe. Come on, Joe, lay it on me. Give me some honesty and truth. You know the movie was not good. You know the performances were not good. Be honest about it.
Try with an accent? No? Okay, whatever, man.
There's
didn't hurt it.
a stylistic choice that Christopher Nolan takes instead of using the Queen's English or some kind of
throw it out the window. Don't worry about it. No
some
accent.
period language or anything.
Yeah, so basically he tried to modernize it, which was embarrassing. It will immediately date the movie. So in 10 years from now, that'll be cringe. Whereas the traditional, like, Queen's English, as he says, that is something that is timeless. Father, mother, that is timeless speech. Mom, Dad. No.
Anything like that. No, my dad and this and that, But honestly, after the first 20 minutes, that kind of stuff just kind of fades away for me. I didn't really notice it. It wasn't bothering me an hour or two, or in the climax, the ending of the film, which was so awesome. It was first 20 minutes, that kind of stuff just kind of fades away for me. I didn't really notice it. It wasn't bothering me an hour or two, or in the climax, the ending of the film, which was all
right, come on. Okay, maybe that's a sticker. Okay, maybe I'm going to screenshot that a little bit. Maybe that's a sticker. Oh God, we're gonna take that one to the bank. All right, there we go.
So awesome. It was emotional. It made me feel moments of heart-pounding action. The film is really good at building tension. This story takes twists and turns. If you're not familiar with Homer's ancient Greek epic, you're going to be really enjoying it and surprised. There's been several adaptations, some of them good.
You're going to be surprised? Yeah, you are going to be surprised, but not in a good way.
This is yet another one to add on to the pile. It may be one of the best. And the music is really good.
Oh, what? What? No! He just said the music was good. No, the music was not good. Hey, Joe, let me play.
More to Trumpism, but no more to the Democrats who compromise, who conciliate, and who betray us.
What? Hassan, get out of here. This isn't your video. This isn't your segment. Why are you speaking? That was crazy. I wasn't even in that tab. Hassan Piker just started talking. From another tab out of nowhere. Oh man, that was... Get out of here, Hassan. Oh man, okay, let's see. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you. And I'm kind of shocked he said that. If you want to know the truth. Like, there's so many songs from Troy. Like, there's so many songs from Troy. Like, this music is actually incredible. Yeah, like, you just listen. Let me jump ahead one more time. Just listen to this. How can you say that the music in this iteration, 2026, the Odyssey is better than this? Like, it doesn't compare. It's just on another level. Yeah. I listen, this is going longer than I thought, but just listen to this. It's unbelievable. It's so epic. I mean, it's just, oh gosh, that's fantastic. Like, there is no comparison. And that's what has me upset, is that people like Joe, these people that just consume the slop, they're like pigs eating out of the trough. They just, Hollywood just dumps this garbage, this excess waste, and then it's like, pig, stop eating, stop just consuming the slop. No, the movie was shit. The music was not anywhere near as epic or good as Troy. Like, the performances were not anywhere good or memorable as Troy. And I'm comparing it to Troy because why not? Why not? In 2026, why couldn't we get an epic hero movie like that with Sean Bean playing Odysseus returning home? Which, by the way, Sean Bean played Odysseus in Troy, and he did a fantastic job. Why did you have to bastardize and change everything? Like, I am. I'm getting on a tangential rant. Yes, I am. No, I understand that, but it doesn't, like, it's part of the whole, okay? The music is shit. Like, the music, the sound design, it's not good. The costumes are not good. The casting is atrocious. Travis Scott? Really? Joe? Really? Travis Scott? You thought that was the best? You were just overwhelmed by how cool that was? Like, get the fuck out of here. I'm tired of having to make excuses for criticizing the garbage.
Except for the end credits rap song, that was totally,
yeah, that was off.
Don't leave
like, fine, all right,
don't leave me with that. But I don't give a fuck because that's the
Everything
credits.
else is good.
So as long as you stay within everything else, and I thought that Matt Damon was fantastic as Odysseus. The ensemble cast around him does a great job. Tom Holland in particular does a wonderful kind of job as the son trying to live up to the legend. Anne Hathaway's on her best. Robert Pattinson
I think he's a great actor.
Love to hate this motherfucker. He takes his craft very seriously. And that was John Leguizamo, excellent as Eumaeus, the faithful servant and blind swineherd. Man, Charlize Theron, who is not in the film, is basically, it's a who's who of Hollywood, I guess. Now, not everybody, I think, does the best job. I didn't feel like Zendaya really came through in her role, and we'll talk about some more of the actors. Yeah. But other than that, gosh damn, man. I go to the movies to be transported into a world and immersed and just live in a story. and a narrative, and that is exactly what this is. You go on this journey. I think it's creatively told. I think there's different style visuals offering up something.
Don't you remember?
I mean, seriously, are we really?
So I'm off to see the
Christopher.
What do you feel like you learned from working with Lupita, if I can ask you, John?
For me, there's no one else in the world.
You were transported to that world.
Shout out to Christopher Nolan. He must.
You were transported to that world, really?
So I'm off to see the Odyssey.
Is that right? Is that what happened?
What do you feel like you learned?
You know, that's what happened. You were transported there. You're like, wow. I feel so in touch with this movie, right? Yeah, you just, yeah. I
Shout out to
cannot
Christopher
believe.
Nolan. He must love.
I cannot believe that these fucking people.
Butchered the most important
I'm
detail
like,
in Wilson.
It's so embarrassing. It's so embarrassing.
So I'm off to see the Odyssey, which is Christopher Nolan's latest.
Yeah. So, by the way, most people that are familiar with the Odyssey hate this movie. They think it's absolute shit.
I mean, seriously.
And you know why they think that? Because it is absolute shit.
Don't you remember?
It's embarrassing. It's one of the most embarrassing things. Oh, here we go. Here, by the way. Here the way. By the way. Here. Yeah, Joe, you like this? You thought this was authentic? You thought this was good?
And Helen is one of them. And as soon as, I gotta tell y'all, as soon...
Ah! Helen of Troy? Yeah, right.
Yeah, right there.
Oh, gosh. Joe, you thought that was great? Joe, you were transported into ancient Greece? Huh, wait a minute. That's Helen Troy. She looks sub-Saharan African. I don't understand. This immersed you? You were immersed by this? You've got bald Frank Castle, and you've got Lupita Nyong'o. Like, this did it for you? You were transported to that world? It was an experience for you? Joe, stop fucking lying. You were not transported anywhere. That is such bullshit.
New and different to, you know, a tale as old as time. This thing's been told for quite a long time. So some of the armor designs people have poo-pooed on. It didn't bother me. I thought it was...
Well, it didn't bother you. Well, I mean, then that should be it. The designs look like shit. They look terrible.
Aggravated Arturo got famous ranting about the smallest things in relatively decent games, compared to now we'll eat any slop put in front of him.
Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? That Angry Joe got famous, rather infamous even, on criticizing every tiny detail. But now he just consumes the slop. Huh. And by the way, there was a post from Sargon of Akkad. And Sargon, this is the armor that Joe thinks is okay, by the way. I just want to remind you guys, this is the armor that Joe thinks is okay. Joe likes this armor. This that looks like it's made of like felt material or like plaster. Like they made it to look like it had been like underwater for years. Like it's not meant to look like this. Like, you understand? It didn't look like this when they were wearing it. This looks like shit. I don't know what you're thinking. It says Nolan is so determined to fit everything in into his post-Catholic morality that he took the Greek concept of xenia, a reciprocal guest-host relationship among civilized people, and universalized it into a simple be kind golden rule and made that into the central message of his movie. this is a very interesting point because in the Iliad and the Odyssey, we don't see any guilt or grief on the part of those sacking cities. After sacking Troy, Odysseus sets sail off to Thrace and tells us how he sacked Ismarus. His description is cold and abrupt. That's because at the time it's not the same. Like they've adopted Western modern morality into into an old Middle Ages like myth. It says the tragedy here is it says and drove off Odysseus force off, killing many. This is a pattern repeated throughout Homer. The moral consideration is for the war band and not the victims of the war band. Sacker of cities is an epithet given to great heroes like Achilles and Odysseus. It is a point of pride, as it takes great booty and women. Odysseus feels no regret at the sacking of Troy or anywhere else. He only laments the hardships he and his men must personally suffer. His morality is confirmed to his warband and his family and property. Ultimately, it revolves around his own well-being. We're given no reason to think Odysseus has PTSD from sacking cities. So, yeah, they have deconstructed the hero and tried to adapt it in a more Western frame. And I don't know, maybe that's why Joe likes it more, because it's a more progressive interpretation. You know?
It was fine. I thought some of them were actually pretty creative and cool. But I love his cinematic look. Now, we didn't...
The Giants' armors were ridiculous. In fact, all the armors were ridiculous. They didn't look period. They didn't look good. It was shit.
See this in IMAX, but after seeing this, man, it tempts me so much to go out to our local IMAX at Bob Bullock Theater and see it there.
So far, it's like 40
oh,
minutes
it's so
away.
far, Joe. And you know they don't do reserved seats. You just have to show up like old school back when we were growing up. It's a madhouse, and then you fight for seats. It's crazy, but it makes me want to, because the visuals are a treat, guys. This is Nolan doing what Nolan does best. And the cinematographer is fantastic. Let me look that up. By Hoyt van Hoytema, which this guy he works with on everything. He worked with him on Interstellar, Spectre, Dunkirk, Ad Astra, Tenet, Nope, Oppenheimer, or Nope was separate. He went off and did that. But it was just fantastic, and I love the shadows and the field-in, lived-in world of the Odyssey. Mwah. This is why I go to the theaters. You gotta see this. You got to see it on the big screen. That the sound system, our local theater has something called HD Bar by Barco or something like that. I don't know if it makes the sound more rich and the whole place is booming. And it probably helped the film, because Christopher Nolan is known for having some kind of dirty audio, a little difficult to hear.
Very.
But I guess maybe with this special Barco stuff, I didn't have a real problem, and I really enjoyed when the whole theater was rumbling during the action scenes.
Yeah, one of the moments is like the guy was like saying something when he was on the boat. I was like, I have no idea what he said.
I'm a deaf man, and I managed to get it all, so I was just really enjoying it. I fucking love this film. I give it a badass seal of approval up front. Go out and see this.
He said the same thing about Supergirl, by the way.
Gonna be 3 hours. We're old men. We're prepared. Don't drink a bunch of water before you go. Okay, so eat before. You don't have to spend so much goddamn money on the overpriced crap.
Bring your own snacks.
Bring your own. We did that. And take a bathroom break before. And
guys, we are 6 minutes in to a review about the Odyssey, and he's already talking about going to the bathroom. Guys, this movie is so good. Let me tell you all about it. Oh, by the way, make sure you go to the bathroom. Make sure you go and take a pee and a poo. Make sure you go and get hydrated. You want your snacks beforehand. Oh man, what a ringing endorsement. 6 minutes in, and you're like, oh man, the movie's really good, but also some of the stuff's really bad. Oh, and by the way, you gotta make sure to go pee-pee, go tinkle. You gotta be fucking kidding me. We are in the intro of his review for the Odyssey, and he's talking about pissing and pooping. He's talking about going to the bathroom. Well, Joe, this may be the most apt review because you know what? The movie was shit. So you could save yourself the time and money by not going to see it. You know what? I'll go a step further. If you find a way to get this movie online for free and you want to watch it, I encourage you. Go ahead and watch it. I don't ever publicly say that I encourage piracy. And I'm not doing that now. I'm not saying to go out and get it. But if you see it on X and somebody uploads it and you want to watch it, you know what? By all means. You need to start voting with your wallet. You need to start voting with your feet. This movie is a piece of shit. It's not worth your time. It's not worth your money. IMAX doesn't save this. And Joe is 6 minutes into his review and he's talking about going to the bathroom.
And really immerse yourself in it. And it really lends itself well to that. You'll have a wonderful fucking time. This is why I go to the theaters. Just badass. What did you guys think of Odyssey?
Pretty much ditto with everything you said. I really enjoyed this. Definitely go out and check it out.
I'm shocked. Other Joe agrees with Angry Joe. But by the way, guys, we are 7 minutes in about, and they have not mentioned one specific thing, one moment. Like, if you actually loved the movie, the first thing that you do is you be like, oh my gosh, guys, I have to tell you about this. This movie is so amazing. We have to talk about the scene with, Hector fighting Achilles. We gotta talk about the music. Oh my God. It's like, guys, this movie is so good. It's amazing. But there's some things that, I didn't like. I overlooked some of this and some of this. Oh, and by the way, make sure you go to the back. Like, this is not a review from somebody that actually liked the movie. And you notice how he said the experience. That's a telltale giveaway. The experience. Not the movie. Not what you were actually presented. The experience. Now, we're going to jump back over to X. And I am going to go over on the bookmarks. And we're going to go over to the Felon of Troy tab. And we're going to scroll back down. And by the way,
we were told.
By the way, here is my Odysseus.
Brother, we were told King Odysseus is hid in the hills.
Odysseus? That old bastard drinks my wine and never pays.
I want to respect your king.
Respect him? I'd like to punch him in the face. He's pouring at my wife, trying to tear her clothes off. I hope Agamemnon's generals are smarter than his emissaries.
What did you say?
You want me to help you fight the Trojans?
Oh, are you? Forgive us, King Odysseus.
Well, I'm gonna miss my dog.
Brother, we were told.
I'm gonna miss my dog. Yeah, what a baseline. Yeah, I bet Joe really liked the. I bet he really liked this depiction of Agamemnon that was ridiculous.
I mean, seriously.
Oh, by the way, Joe, you and Ben Shapiro had a very similar review.
Are we really thinking that
you and Ben Shapiro had a very similar review? Let me scroll down. Oh, here we go. So everything wrong with Nolan's The Odyssey. Excluding Greeks from their own story, Greeks are largely sidelined in their most important national epic, while international Hollywood stars take all the major roles. Race swap casting and hypocrisy. Diverse casting ignores Greek heritage and Homer's depictions, descriptions, at a time when other cultures demand strict authenticity. That's true. A feminist interpretation of Homer, heavily inspired by Emily Wilson's modern feminist translation that alters the tone and emphasizes female characters, gender-swapping Greek warriors, dark and gloomy aesthetic, wrong costumes, Viking ship, you got reinvented monsters, modern dialogue. Joe, they fucked about everything up that you could, And you're sitting here going, no, guys, this is great. Yeah, somebody says, displeased Diego.
The music was fucking great. Just watching this was amazing. I honestly didn't really feel like it was long.
I didn't feel the length.
No, I didn't feel it at all. Like, it didn't really drag for me. This is a great, like, I expected more action, but it was fine for me. Like, it was more of a storytelling, a drama with some action parts sprinkled on, which the story writing was good enough for me to, like, just be engaged the entire time. I really liked it. As one of the characters, like Tom Holland, kind of felt kind of off like me. He's like, I'm almost of age to take the throne. I was like,
I'm 20.
I was
it's like,
you're 30.
You're 35.
Still looks like a little kid to me for some reason.
But and John, great, love John, but again, he didn't really try with this performance. Well, no.
So he doesn't even remember the names of the characters because he said Tom Holland. He's talking about Telemachus. He doesn't even remember Telemachus. He doesn't even know or remember the characters. He's like, oh, I love John Leguizamo. Oh my gosh.
Not the performance, just like with the line deliveries.
Oh, you did great.
I just felt like he was just Punisher. I guess he just like the Punisher.
John Bernthal?
John
Yeah,
Bernthal.
He's the same. You're right.
Exactly.
He's saving everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, it's fine. It just like you already said all the great things. I agree with that, but just like some of these things that kind of felt off, but still very enjoyable. And I would have loved to see this in IMAX though. They did cut out some of the other parts that we talked about, like him like having all the kids and like because I guess he wanted.
What are you talking about?
Because
Odysseus having kids.
More
and-
kids. Because he was gone. Because he was gone for like
spoilers.
10
They cut out some of the more
a lot of stuff.
Because I guess they wanted to be like, oh, this
some
guy's
of Homer's
he's more
transgression, or some
faithful.
of
Man's been at sea for years.
some of Odysseus is a transgression.
Yeah.
But other than that, honestly, I fucking love this movie. It was so good.
Yeah, it's really good. I mean, I've always liked the story. I like most of the retellings of the different story, and I think this did a really good job. Cut out a lot of the, like, trim the fat of some of the other ones, where it's like, oh, we found this kingdom, and oh no, the storm takes us back, and we're back at this thing. It's like we cut those things on purpose because they weren't necessarily all that important.
Yeah.
They merged some of the storylines together to kind of make things flow a little bit better. It's definitely a pro Odysseus propaganda piece where it cleans up a ton of the things that make him kind of
And it does make his story with his wife stronger,
It
with
does.
his son stronger, and fills me with that emotional. Let's go by the end of the film.
Yeah.
So you were like, hey, check out your other kids.
Yeah. You got a
No,
bunch
shut
of
up.
brothers. You got a
Shut
bunch of
your mouth.
brothers.
Okay, it's
How
an
dare
old ass book.
Yeah.
Oh
so.
shit! I'm wearing yellow.
We'll see.
Darn it.
But honestly, like this is up there for me with
What's the
Oh
best?
Brother.
Oh, brother, we're out
Now.
now. Yeah,
That's also a fucking
It's a
good
cool
one.
soft adaptation
Yeah.
of
But it's really good.
the Odyssey. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think they did a really great job. I loved almost all of the actors. Some of them were kind of I mean, he cast it like it's an Adam Sandler movie, where it's like everyone I know gets to be in this movie because there's so many roles in it.
Yeah.
And most people did an amazing job. Other times were, okay. I do feel the movie was a little drab looking. I wish that because they filmed in a drab looking place instead of the Aegean Sea, so you don't get to see like any of like the glorious bright green and like.
So at least this guy is acknowledging the fact that it looked drab. Instead of like, I want to show you a juxtaposition and a comparison. So we're not just I want to show you the comparison here. Okay. Let's see. Let me scroll down. Here we go. We'll start from here. Look at this scenery. Look at that. Like, look at the scenery. Look at the water. Look at the sand. Look, like, it's sunny outside. Like, everything looks beautiful. Like, it doesn't look drab and, oh, there's smoke everywhere and, oh gosh, it's a war zone. No, it looks beautiful. Like they're fighting at the temple, but like look at like on the water and stuff. Like, look at the scene where he yeah, like look at the scenes with the boats. It's like, it's bright out, it's sunny, it like there's a vibrance here. And this is part of it. This is why the Nolan movies suck. It's his typical dark, gloomy, like poorly lit aesthetic. And this other, this other Joe, yeah, he's correct. It was drab. Like, and by the way, look at the ships. The ships are more accurate than in Nolan's movie. That's for damn sure. The ships are more accurate than in Nolan's movie. I'm not saying that they're one for one with actual Greek ships, but they're more accurate than the ones that Nolan came up with. It's like everything here. The armor looks nice. Like everything, it was better. How do you do that? How do you mess up? You've had 22 years to learn from this. And this is the part that absolutely gets me, is you had all this time. All this time. And you couldn't figure this out. It's like the sets for Troy were so beautiful. The aesthetic was so beautiful.
Like light blue of all of the water, and that was like, that's a minor thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is great. This is the reason that people used to go out and go to the movies, because this is an event movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The fucking content was superb. You could tell the man had a passion, and he wanted to tell it and bring this story to current audiences. A lot of people haven't experienced the story, don't know about the story, and I'm just glad that he's bringing it in mainstream. Same thing with Oppenheimer. He did the same thing for that. And so I think it's just well told, well acted, engaging, and immersive. The audio is fantastic. Like, I'm just going over all the same stuff I said. Now, and
guarantee Joe hasn't, based on what Joe said, I guarantee he hasn't read the Odyssey. Joe, how have you not read the Odyssey? You're treating it like it's some obscure comic book. It's mandatory reading in most schools, or at least it used to be. What do you mean? Why are you treating it like it's some obscure thing that people don't know the story of the Odyssey? Of course people know the story of the Odyssey. And by the way, not only have they read it, well, we have movie interpretations. Joe, have you not seen any of the other movies? Have you not read any of the variants of the book? Joe, this is an embarrassing take.
Anybody who didn't have a strong performance, like say Zendaya and maybe Elliot Page as a soldier, who's not Achilles, by the way, no. It's like, could there have been another actor? Because since this is a who's who of Hollywood, is there another actor out there that would have done a better job? Probably, for certain roles. But it's not like anybody was glaringly bad that stood out that you're like, you broke the immersion. Not once did any of my immersion get broken.
Zendaya had a tiny part in this movie.
Yeah.
Except for John Bernthal, and except for Lupita Nyong'o, and except for Elliot Page, like Livid Louise. The reason why people were so upset about Ellen Page is, first of all, including a trans person in this movie is a decision. You're not doing that organically. But they replaced Achilles' scene in the underworld. They replaced Achilles in the underworld with Sinon. So, the conversation between Odysseus and Achilles in the underworld is important. That's important. But they replaced it with Sinon. They took some of the most important characters and they bastardized them in so many different ways. Making Helena Troy black and ugly, and she is, and she was a deliberate decision that fucked up the movie, even though she was there for only a couple minutes. Because you want to talk about immersion breaking? The moment that they said, this is Helena Troy, I said, you've got to be fucking kidding me. You've got to be out of your damn mind. That's Helena Troy. Really? But Joe's like, no, it didn't take me out of the movie. Guaranteed it took him out of the movie. It took everyone out of the movie. When they did that scene where he turned her face to the camera, I said, fuck no.
I thought it was going to be a massive part in the movie because, like, you know, Athena is a huge portion of the thing. Zendaya is barely in this thing comparatively to everything else. Elliot Page is in it for a very short period of time, and so people that do, I mean, you have problems with it, you know, fear not, they're in there for like this bit of time. John's not in it a whole lot, and you know, so
no, nothing crazy like Ray Liotta and Jason Statham in that movie, the King movie.
Oh, In the Name of the King?
In the Name of the King.
Oh, yeah. Equal.
So your references are getting crazy.
No. I mean, you think
What
about
are you talking
historical
about?
epic.
Joe.
They're pretty close together when you think about, you know, the Odyssey and In the Name of the King.
Ray Liotta.
What are you doing here?
Man, I just love the mythology of the original Homer's story and poem, and I thought that maybe, you know, Nolan would stay away from some of the more mystical and God crossing over kind of stuff, and he doesn't. And you know, this is a world of
he said apparent
mythic
magic.
and magic. What is it?
He said at the beginning, this is a world of apparent magic.
Oh, I love it. And it's
He
just
cut out
so
90% of
cool
the gods in
when
this
you go
stuff.
now. I would say it is grounded. You know, like they're not gonna do the song and dance. I'm Zeus and I'm Poseidon and all that. You're not gonna see them in a massively embodied form. But it is a grounded, realistic way to depict it, and you feel the anger of the gods. By the end, when the story reveals itself, when you get these little mysteries within mysteries, like why did it take so long for Odysseus to get home? Who was his captor, and why did everybody else get to go home, and him and his men get kind of screwed over, you know? And then it's kind of revealed, did Odysseus want to go home, and why is he having this internal struggle, and all of these things, and then. Ooh, just the super satisfying thing of pieces of shit invading your fucking home and just fucking up the place and trying to get with your wife, and then you know, and then that triumphant moment. I'm trying to avoid spoilers, but it's you know, it's
what's the year, like how many thousand years
how many
before
thousand
like,
years have passed for this story, right? It's just, it all culminates really expertly, and you can tell that that time, effort, and care was put into the climax. Yeah. And when things happen, and again, like I said many times, the music builds, there's drums that build, there's these crescendos that build, that really accentuate everything that's happening on screen. Beautiful shots that will stick with you. And probably even better on IMAX, but we didn't, like I said.
There was one scene in particular that I loved that I didn't think I was going to love because in the story it's not all that important, but the whole Cersei thing where she's like physically manipulating was so cool. It's body horror.
And it was crazy. It was a horror film. Some of these, what would you call them, trials that Odysseus goes through, hopping from island to island to get provisions to keep his men fed as they watch, and you root. What do you think?
This is a movie I definitely watch over and over. I do actually want to check it out.
So he's going to watch it over and over. I doubt it.
Bigger screen. Nothing really to complain about. I really like a lot of this stuff. Yeah, I'm just going to go with the 10. It's fucking great. Fucking great. And like you said, this is exactly why I want to go to this movie. It's like, holy shit. I was entertained, grab some popcorn. Fucking amazing scenes.
That's what you want. Yeah. And again, a 10 is not a perfect film because there are some other things I want to talk about in spoilers that do not work and maybe not be the best, but it's an example. It's a legendary example. You know, like Red Dead Redemption being an open world, is Witcher 3 open world of example of that kind of storytelling and good game. This would be an example of the Odyssey story.
What do you, an open world movie? Like, do you understand their source material here? An open world movie. Wow.
Great.
Yeah, I liked. I think there were some pacing problems. I mean, that's the problem is there's so many different chapters of this thing, and there's a lot of times where they're kind of meandering and stuck in the sea. I think they did a really interesting job framing the way they tell the story, because it's told at you know, much like the original story. He's like recounting all of the tales, but it's done in a completely different way. And I think there was some really clever stuff with the writing here. I left the theater thinking 9, and so that's what I'm going to stick with. I do really enjoy this.
A 9 out of 10, just like Ben Shapiro. Yeah, by the way, guys, the movie is a 2 out of 10.
movie. I do have little bits that I think that they could have done different stuff, but I still think it's a wonderful time.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I was a 9 for a long, long time throughout the film. I was just enjoying myself. But that final scene and the music that goes along with that final scene and the emotional payoff of Odysseus coming back, the moment with, his dog, his loved ones, and it's just, woof. That's why I go to the theaters. In a world.
Yeah, so Andrew Jump in chat says a 10 is not a perfect film. Yeah, see, that's sort of the flaw in his review, is that he admits that there are problems, but for him, what's more important, because guaranteed Joe doesn't know anything about the Odyssey, okay? He's not a fan of the Odyssey. He hasn't read the books. He basically admitted as such. And so for him, it's not really about the Odyssey. It's not really about the characters. He enjoyed the experience of going to the movies. That for him probably was a large part of it. The movie itself was shit. It was not good. It was not good in several different ways. But it also could be that Joe is a big fan of Nolan. And so he wants to overlook some of the flaws. So he's going to say, it's a 10 out of 10. It's like the people who rated Mixtape a 10 out of 10. Was Mixtape a 10 out of 10? No. Again, it was a 2 out of 10 movie. 2 out of 10 game. If you could even call it a game. But the Odyssey, to people like myself that actually give a shit about it and the lore and the story, I look at what they did and I'm disgusted. He looks at that and goes, whoa, beautiful. Oh, 10 out of 10. Yeah. I fundamentally disagree with him and his reason for doing it. We could not be more diametrically opposed.
Where, for some reason, storytellers and producers and everything want to do the subverting expectations and I got you thing, and it's like, oh, well, you predicted the end, well, this and that. It's good to get a satisfying conclusion to a well-told story that has a message and has morals and has something to think about towards the end. And well told, Nolan. You keep choosing these projects that you're passionate about, because you could definitely tell on the cells here that you cared about telling this story. So I'm just curious what's next.
He gave it a 10 out of 10. Now, by the way, Joe, because he hasn't read the Odyssey and because he hasn't seen any of the other Odyssey movies, he doesn't know that the ending of the movie is not the actual message. Yeah. It's not the actual message. They created a new message. No. They changed it. Joe, what I would encourage you to do is go back and watch the 1997 movie, The Odyssey. Go back and watch that, and you'll understand, maybe to some degree, why people are going to make fun of you for this review. A 10 out of 10? Are you ridiculous? Get out of here. Anyway, I'm done with Joe. I did my part to review this and review Joe and his terrible, terrible review. Anyway, I want to thank you guys for watching. I want to thank you for supporting the channel, and I'll see you next time.